Who is next for Islam Makhachev? Today we're gonna run down the good opponents that should be next for Islam Makhachev. I feel like this welterweight division is very stacked with good fights that is very terrifying for Islam Makhachev. I feel like if Islam Makhachev gets through this 170 division undefeated, he is definitely the best fighter in the world for sure, because welterweight has all the best prospects, bro. Like, I be looking at that welterweight division, I'm like, ain't no way someone is walking out there undefeated for real. Everybody in there looks like killers. We're gonna start off with Michael Morales, bro. And honestly, bro, I'm gonna keep it short and simple, man. I feel like he is definitely deserving of that title shot, but just one more to prove yourself more, you know what I'm saying? Because right now I feel like there's more skillful people in there. I feel like he is more, like, people say he shoots a lot of shots. Like, what would happen if he survives to the 5th round? Will he be able to survive a 5th round? And like I said, I'm not doubting this guy's tank at all. I mean, he seems pretty solid. He just has good power. But I feel like as of right now, don't give him the title shot. Just one more fight, put him versus Carlos Prates, and we're gonna see who wins that one for real. And I feel like that's gonna be a good test for Morales, although I feel like Morales is gonna beat Carlos Prates on the feet. I might be wrong though, because Carlos Prates as of lately looks pretty insane on the feet, bro. Knocking out a Leon Edwards is absolutely insane. I couldn't believe my eyes. But yes, I feel like give Carlos Prates Morales, and we're gonna see who is good on the feet. I feel like it will be a decision. I don't think anybody would get knocked out for real, unless if there's a knockout. I promise you it's gonna be Morales. It's not gonna be Carlos Prates. But yeah, for Morales, one more fight and then you're in the title contentions, either Prates or Usman. So that's a good one for Islam Makhachev. But I feel like don't put him up against strikers. I feel like there's also a lot of good people in there that has good at striking and their grappling, because as y'all know, Islam's biggest weakness, in my personal opinion, comes inside the boxing, because he's obviously good at his scrambling and his wrestling and stuff like that. People think that's a casual take, but I feel like we need someone that's good at everything. If they find someone as good as everything, and they're starting to talk about Kamaru Usman, and I kind of agree and disagree with this. Look, I feel like Usman will give Islam Makhachev some problems. I feel like Kamaru Usman, he's a legend, man. We can't forget this guy stood 3 rounds with Khamzat Chimaev and made it look like Khamzat look human, you know what I'm saying? Like, he took him to a decision, and damn near I thought he won the fight. So I feel like if he versus Islam Makhachev would face some problems in there, but I still felt like Islam Makhachev would thug it out. And the thing with that is Kamaru Usman, obviously he's not in his prime anymore. He did get beat by Leon Edwards 3 times. We can't forget about that. And not even that, it's just like right now there's too many people, too many contenders in there that is stacked, that's ready to fight Islam Makhachev for that title. And I feel like Kamaru Usman is not a good one, but we already know he is signed with Ali Abdelaziz, and Ali Abdelaziz is probably gonna make this match happen, and this is the only reason why this is even in talks. And Kamaru Usman knows that he's blessed with that he has the opportunity to fight for that belt again, although he doesn't deserve it. But I feel like this is horrible. But for Islam Makhachev's legacy, it would be amazing, because people wouldn't know what version of Usman he was fighting. So what I'm saying is, I don't think that fight should be deserved, and I feel like we should get into the other prospects. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Islam Makhachev. He would beat a Kamaru Usman. Ilia Topuria, I know a lot of people want to see that fight, and honestly, Islam Makhachev ruined it for moving up to 170. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because Ilia Topuria gonna have to keep fighting at 155 to really prove himself if he's deserving to move up to 170, and that is very odd if Dana White would really let him go up to 170. That would be the first person to challenge for a triple champion. Honestly, Dana White is only thinking about business move for this going on for UFC right now, so it would be very odd to see him actually let Ilia Topuria move up to 170 to face Islam Makhachev. And if they were to fight at 170, man, I've been saying that I'm gonna lean towards Islam Makhachev, just because off the side I feel like the weight difference really gonna be different, because I don't know, Ilia Topuria looks way too too small to be in 170. He started off at bantamweight, so that's crazy. That's like 4 weights up the limit. Like, we've never seen that a day in our lives, bro. I'm gonna be honest. So if Ilia Topuria were to do that and beat Islam Makhachev, there's no doubt that he is the best fighter in the world. But if that's way too delusional. See, look, there's some things you probably can't do, you feel me? You gotta back out of it sometimes. But at 170, he is not beating Islam Makhachev. I'm just keeping it a buck, and I don't think he is deserving of that title shot. I feel like it's too early for him on in his career. He needs to prove himself way more at 155. Give it to him when he faces like 2 more opponents at 155, and if he beats them, yeah, let him move up to 170. Make that fight quick, because that's another super fight champ for champ. That would be amazing. The top selling pay-per-view. Ian Macchiato Garry, and I feel like, look, I like touching into this Ian Garry subject because I feel like people sleep on him, bro. People don't know how skillful this guy is. The fact that he stood with Shavkat Rakhmonov and almost submitted him at the end of the fight shows a true dog in him. No matter if he's losing, you might see a little fluke at the end of it. So Ian Garry, bro, as much as he's annoying, you know what I'm saying, like, he may act annoying sometimes, but this guy is skillful. We cannot take all the accolades that he got on himself, and I feel like he would give Islam Makhachev big problems, and Islam Makhachev wouldn't want to run into a Shavkat Ian Garry, because Ian Garry and Shavkat Rakhmonov are definitely one of the best welterweights right now in this generation. All the other people, they're just okay, but not as a skillful level as Ian Garry and Shavkat Rakhmonov. And I feel like with this, Islam Makhachev will struggle with trying to get him down on the ground. He'll get him down, don't get me wrong, but it's not as easy as it looks. Ian Garry knows how to defend very well, and he is very nice at what he's doing, and he's good all around, especially on the feet. I feel like Islam Makhachev stands no chance against the Ian Garry on the feet. When this guy outskilled Carlos Prates on the feet, Ian Garry is definitely a problem, and I don't see no way that Islam Makhachev is not going to struggle in this fight. This would not be a Islam versus JDN situation where he holds him on the ground the whole fight. Ian Garry has a dog in him, and he tends to stand back up, and also that, and if he ends up fighting Islam Makhachev, I feel like Ian Garry would represent a good championship, because he does a lot of good stuff. I know people think that it's mind games and things like that, but nah, I feel like that's what a champion should represent, is showing a good sportsmanship in the game. So Ian Garry, I gotta give it to him. I think he would be the one to beat Islam Makhachev.